happens. Through eons, the communities have sat around the fire, telling stories, playing music, creating that sense of connection and belonging. So it seems like that was kind of like your entry into the importance of empathy. Is that
Yes,
accurate?
beautifully stated and elegantly stated because, first of all, you mentioned the idea of culture. There are so many programs and so many wonderful curriculum materials that have been developed for schools. And I've seen schools using these. I've worked in schools. I've tried to complement some of these programs. But if it's not something that's felt by the school population or by the school community, it will be just a program. It won't be a way of being. And in a school, and I'm going to keep coming back to schools, Edwin, because that's really where I focus my energies. In a school, culture is the way we do things. It's stated, it's articulated. This is how we do things. And the rationale is provided. This is why we do things. It's this way. It's not coercive. It's not you better do this or you'll be in trouble. It's like, no, we need to have a social agreement of how we work together and how we're going to learn together. So that's a culture. Now, when you have a culture which is predictable and consistent, you now have, a climate, which is how it feels. A lot of times people confuse the two. They think they're the same thing, actually, culture and climate, and they're not. Culture is the way we do things. Climate is how it feels based on the cultural norms. So back to your point, we are building culture. To me, it's a consciousness movement, being conscious of the impact our choices have, our words, our actions. And then you ground everything with ritual. You mentioned, like I have this image of sitting around a fire, a sacred fire. And to me, sacred is connection. Connection was another word you used, connection. So important to me, feeling connected. There's nothing more painful than feeling isolated, alone, or disconnected. And we are all about building community through ritual and through common language. So that is essentially what happened. I experienced it through music and the arts. The arts is another avenue to making connections. I mean, as a musician, there's nothing better than playing music with someone else and being in flow with them, to use that term. There's also nothing better in my world than playing the fiddle and having a group of dancers before me all moving together to the rhythm, to the beat. We're all in it together. And so, it's not empathy, education, empathy, culture building. It's multifaceted, but the end result is always a sense of connection, belonging, and community.
Yeah, for me, it's another way I've come at it as well. For the empathy has been through dance. So it's that sense of dance, that connection,